What's up, everybody?
My name is Anthony Irvin.
You beat yourself?
Yeah.
CB myself.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm Jim Green.
Don't even need a hit of traffic light.
Okay, good.
Welcome to
One set.
Yeah, I mean that, like, it's gonna go into a long discussion. I'm gonna try to abbreviate it the best I can. Basically, the things I know that I could be doing better, being in shape, having like the whole, and I mean, just being honest, like having a real clean diet is not a cheap feat, right? Like
No.
it is an expensive thing to be healthy and in shape, right?
Yep.
Like, so
It really is.
so knowing that me being a better teacher means me being in the best shape that I can be, means all of the expenses it takes to be in tip-top shape up and down, right?
Mhm.
Like that version of myself, I think is going to become a thing after I make that career jump. And the thing that I grew up loving so much as a childhood, that's me as a childhood, as a child, and carried on into like my early career days post high school and those dreams and some of the things I got to do. But like being a good teacher is something that I know I can always work towards being better at, right? So when I'm in my 40s and still teaching these couple dance classes a week, it's like I know how I can be better, and I'm actually looking forward to that too. Along with you know, exploring these other things in my life that I want to be able to do versus like, oh yeah, my finances are having me just held right about here, very limiting, and being like, I have the option to be able to say, okay, I kind of want to do this. How much does that cost? Okay, I'll do that. Like, never really thought that I'd be in a position to do that, just because so much of my adult life has been like living very minimally and just being like,
You kind of knew within your means of like
what my ceiling was, like
Right.
what I could, and the things that I was capable of being able to afford, and all of the things out there where I'm like, yeah, it's just really not in the cards for me. Like,
yeah. So it at least it kind of gives you a little bit more to the point where, like, you know, those things that you thought before may not be in your you know, realm of reaching to, you could reach it eventually. Because if it's a financial thing, you'll have the time to, you know, possibly save up a little bit to experience that down the road if you're still able to. But at least it's not going to hold you, that type of financial thing won't really hold you back anymore. You know, so it's that's got to feel good to him.
It's been a game changer, man. It's something I think about every day. And again, like, could go at depths about that, but
right, we can make that another episode too,
or it will be talked about plenty over the course of the next year and a half, and even beyond that. So I know we were going to talk about the Survivor Series War Games prediction. There's literally 4 matches, and 2 of them are the War Games matches, and it's like, how do you predict it other than like, okay, I think that the Vision the men's Vision team needs to win. And then I think the face women's team is probably going to win, just because you don't usually typically have both face teams winning and both heel teams winning. Although I wouldn't be surprised if they gave. Yeah, I would be kind of surprised if they gave the heel women the win over the face women, and gave the face. I mean, everything is supposed to be making, like, it's supposed to be the making of Braun Breaker, right? Like that.
Yeah,
that to me is kind of what the priority focus looks like here.
Because if we are going off of what happened with Raw tonight, there's obviously tension between Roman, CM Punk, and Cody.
Yep.
So that can still draw into the match. I still feel somehow, even though Jay has been going up and down with his thing with trying to get back into a title thing, but now he's like in that sense of like trying to pull everybody together. But I feel to piggyback off what you were saying, I would probably think the heels for the guys War Games match gets the win out of that and pulls an upset on that, where you get the face women with their War Games match winning those with Rhea and everybody, because they've just been hyping them up to the T. So I can see them, the faces winning for the girls match, the heels winning for the guys match.
That's where I'm at with it. And then you got Stephanie Vaquero defending against Nikki Bella. It's her first title defense, and I think there's no chance Nikki Bella's winning here.
No chance she's taking that. I mean, I'm all good with, because you could see it on the wall that Nikki was gonna do something to Stephanie eventually.
Yeah,
it was just a matter of time. So cool with it getting a match. It seems like she's trying to just do one more run.
A better heel anyway. Like the face.
I personally think she's a better heel too.
The face stuff
when
she
Nikki
was
is
doing,
like heel, I kind of appreciate her more. When she's trying to be face, I'm like, cringe.
Yeah.
So just give me face Nikki all the time, and if she's off TV for a little bit more, I'm okay with that too. But yeah, Stephanie Valkyrie takes that.
The biggest hang up here is like the big question, and I know people are going to say it's not really that big of a question. I think the hardest thing to predict here is, does John Cena retain that IC title going into his final match, or does Dom Mysterio get it back in San Diego, in his hometown?
Right.
Because does John Cena really need the IC title going into his last match? No,
he doesn't. Because it's either the fact that he's going to lose it this Saturday, or he's going to lose it on the 13th.
So the big thing here is, does he lose? I mean, John Cena doesn't lose any stock losing any matches, because I mean, he's the greatest of all time, right?
It's more of the fact of just bringing it to the next person, just rubbing it off to the next person. So he's either going to lose that this weekend or on the 13th. I kind of liked how you were saying the fact that if we do get Gunther and Cena for the final match, I would much rather be okay with Gunther taking that belt off of Cena. Then you get that Dragunov rematch coming in. That would be a hell of a match, because they're like UK NXT UK matches.
Absolute fire, dude. I mean, I actually thought, okay, you get Gunther to take the IC belt off of John Cena, and you get Sheamus to beat Gunther to get his IC title, which would make him the Grand Slam champion. Because I mean, I don't know. Maybe I'm just wrong. I mean, Ilya Dragunov has the United States title right now, which it's kind of like, I don't see him losing that anytime soon. But clearly they are positioning Tommaso Ciampa to have a good, like, ongoing feud with Ilya, which I'm stoked for, because I've been waiting for Ciampa and Gargano to do something of value in the singles division.
Right.
And I think Ciampa's got the potential to be somebody. And
I agree. I've always liked him.
Also, we're both just like waiting for the day if Montez Ford is ever going to blow up as a single star. I know we have talked about him at length on this podcast.
Supposedly, I saw online that there was some type of promo he'd put out, or some type of thing on Twitter that he posted a photo of just him. So people were foreshadowing that it's him, starting his eventual singles run. I'm not sure. I didn't see it, so I'm not sure if it's just, some stupid person trying to get clicks. But, if so, I'm waiting for that day where, Montez Ford does get the singles push. How he breaks it off with,
Angelo
Dawkins, I don't know. I wouldn't want...
They've been they have teased it. So it's like,
I wouldn't want it to be like one of those things like, oh, Montez Ford takes out takes him out, and then he starts to sing. Like, they've done so much with the Street Profits. You don't want to see that die out, but because you would want it to eventually come back if the singles run, just like Jay. If the singles run just kind of starts craps out, you can come back. But I don't know, unless they kind of do something of like, hey, I need to take this advantage, and Dawkins gives him the okay, like, hey, if this is your moment, you want to do it, go for it. I'll be here for blah blah blah. I don't know how you do that, but yeah, I definitely want to see a Montez Ford single run.
Yeah, give me Montez Ford versus Javon Evans like all day, every day,
all day,
dude.
Like,
dude,
freaking like just give me the 2 rings with them, and then flop it all, and to go like Montez Ford going from one ring to another with the Spanish fly.
A bunch of jumping beans just hopping back and forth.
Wicked.
Dude, I love that. On that note, dude, maybe next week. I got to see what next week looks like. If I can jump on next week, maybe we can do a reaction. I have a feeling that that men's War Games match, as much as we're saying we're predicting the heel guys to win, I think it's going to be an instant classic. I think that they're going to do a knockout job. It's almost like if you put all of those guys into this War Games match and it does not deliver, holy shit, what a bomb.
Just like it, you cannot have another, Wrestleapalooza type thing,
like
and
waste,
hype it up, and just be
whoopsie.
So if you're putting all these, all-star people in a War Games match, it has to deliver.
It better.
So it better.
That's the thing is I'm saying I am looking forward to this match. Like I am actually pretty stoked for it. And
do we have, I mean, this is kind of like going into another direction. Do we have like maybe 5-10 minutes to talk about the Eagles and Cowboys?
Yeah. And then we got to cut it.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Yeah. Cause I mean, I don't know, this is like part of the season where it's like, we're 8-3, which is not bad. We're still making the playoffs, but this is just a hard-hitting loss for us. The fact that, we were so stricken, we were up 21-0, and, we're all, looking at it like, okay, easy win, blah, blah, blah. But then Cowboys come back, and at the end of the game, we're like, what happened? So I think this is like the turning point, hopefully, for the Eagles to be like waking up and knowing that like this offense really needs to turn around.
Yeah. I texted Mike on Sunday. Yeah, it was Sunday on my way home from rehearsal. So the Eagles game hadn't started yet. And I was like, is this not at the very least one of the most interesting NFL seasons all around? I was like, I'm not talking about the Eagles specifically. Last year was way more entertaining.
Yeah.
I mean, you had Saquon Barkley running all over the place, and it was just legendary, like something that we haven't seen before, right? And now coming off of that Super Bowl win and us like having the win record that we do, but it's on merit of our elite defense, right? Like that is what is really securing us these wins. I don't know if Dallas just figured our defense out or if their defense figured out our offense because our offense was running the same plays. So it's like right now we are hurting without Kellen Moore. Like that we really are. That is no question, right? Like, Kevin, what are you doing, man? Like, I don't know.
It's hard to say because, we did so good with his offense, but Jalen was turning over the ball so much where, Petula's offense is very vanilla, but Jalen only turned the ball over once this year. So it's like,
well, they're playing it safe, right?
They're playing it very safe this year, which is like
and that's
good
why
for stats. But again, that's where you're getting like Saquon not getting his reps. You're not getting AJ his reps, and that's why everybody's kind of mad because like it's so predictable. But we're winning games, so it's like cool, we're winning games, but
but people
for
are
a guy who's like trying to get himself into the records of like being a standout wide receiver, you're not going to be making those type of stats for that year.
well, and goes without saying, kind of, but like if you drafted like these Eagle offense guys on your fantasy team,
Yeah,
you are
haven't been doing that great,
you are mega because they are playing it safe, right? Like, yeah, if you are a true fan and you're like, bottom line is that their win record is 8-3, a very good thing as of right now, right?
Yeah.
But if you have the Dallas Cowboys that came into that game 4-5-1, and yes, we were in Dallas, they had the home field advantage going for them. You were up 21-0 in the first quarter. The first quarter.
It's one thing when they got the first touchdown, I'm like, all right, give them just one, whatever. That's fine. They get at least, it's not a blowout, whatever. When they started getting the second one, that's when I'm like, all right, we need to get a score to really get this thing secured. Let's get another score. But then it was punt.
missed the kick.
He missed the kick, punt. And then I'm like, all right, what's going on? And like, it's like everything that happened in the first quarter and second quarter switched and reversed for the third and fourth. Cowboys sucked in the first half. We were going haywire. Third and fourth, it was the total opposite. We couldn't find anything. Cowboys got their ring. So, yeah, I mean, and I'm still not blaming Hurts 100% on this because, again, he's not all to blame. He's just running the plays. But then again, I think he's also upset that he doesn't have the freedom like he probably had last year because we're not seeing him run a lot this year either, where they gave him a lot of that freedom last year. Like, if you don't have a thing to go off of, you run. Where now it's like, if you don't have it, you're either going to stay in the pocket and throw it away, or you're
get sacked.
Get sacked. So, and I think it was one of those games where he just started taking off, and I'm like, okay, this is the Jalen that we know. If he doesn't have a read or if nobody's open, he's going off, and that's what opens up the run game every time. And I don't know why they just don't utilize that. Once they know that Jalen's off, then you have the equality to break off Hurts and Saquon because you don't know where it's coming from. But I don't know what Patullo and Nick are thinking. The fact that was working so much last year, why aren't you utilizing that this year?
It's just playing it safe, and they want so bad to get back-to-back Super Bowl wins because they feel like that is what's going to legitimize them, right?
Yeah.
Like, and so they're playing it safe.
I mean, a win is a win. I get it. But, there's only, and I think they've just realized there's only so much that you can win by the sleeve every week. And then when you get, embarrassed by a team like that, then you're like, okay, now we got to go back to the drawing board because now everybody's, understanding what our game plan is. Now we got to think of a whole new game plan and learn that. And then you look at Hurts, like he never adjusts to a game plan because every year he has a new offensive coordinator.
Yeah, and not for nothing, but like you got 4 days to figure it out because y'all play on Friday.
Yep, and you can't even take in what this happened. You just got to, dust that off and get ready for Chicago, which again is 8-3. So this is another crucial game that we have to win at this point to at least stay within that number one seed, thing, because the Rams right now are the number one seed. I was
going to say, I think the Rams are the top seed right now.
They were, happy that we lost because that pretty much with a win last night, that gave them the first seed. So we need to win to continue to, stay within that realm. So, but thankfully, we only really have 3 or 4 other games right now that I'm kind of worried about. Obviously the Washington Commanders, but then again, they're hurting too with their injuries. The Bills,
There's no Jaden Daniels.
Yeah, so I'm not as worried, but still, you never know with how we're playing. If we're still playing like that, it's always going to be a worrisome type of thing.
Just expect to go 1-1 with the Commanders. Just like we thought the Giants were going to be a blowout and that we were going to take both of them, and then we lost to them in our first game of the series again. And I was just like, what is going on here?
And it doesn't look like we're getting Chip Kelly next month because he just got fired, so he's not coming. He's not coming back. But
the Raiders.
But I have hope in this team that we pull it together.
I haven't lost hope, but I'm like starting to worry. I am starting
discouraging
to worry.
because now we got to hear again, just like any year, we got to hear the Cowboys fans because saying like, oh, we beat you. It's okay. Cheer for your Super Bowl because if you make the playoffs, you're getting kicked out in the first round or the second round, so it don't matter.
Second round's nice. The Eagles beat themselves in this last game. The Cowboys,
if anything, they have everything to blame for themselves with blowing at the end of the day, they blew a 21 point lead. You can't not do that, and especially with that type of team. We knew the Cowboys didn't have that great of a defense, so we knew we can score on them, but. When Dak's on, I do got to say, when Dak's on, he's on.
Yeah, and
if you give him the presence to really start getting on, he will hurt you.
Yeah, and if you let Pickens be open, you're gonna get a bomb. And as soon as we saw that, that's when I was like, okay, they have a shot here.
Yeah. So I mean, there was a lot of things that our penalties were ungodly awful. We had so many things that went wrong in that second half with penalties, and we had some injuries on the defense this week. So it's like so crazy how last week the defense was off the chain, and then this week it just looked like they were a totally different defense. But I think the injuries and I think Cooper DeJean was playing a different spot this week, so they're trying to move people around, and it was just a whole, almost like
storm. Yeah.
Yep. And just trying to figure out, okay, like we would play the same defense as was, but with the injuries that came about, you have to kind of move people around, and sometimes it works, sometimes it don't. But hopefully, I hope they can figure it out. I think they will. We're still 8-3. We're still up in the league. It's not like we're Dallas where we're 5-5. Again, like you're acting like you just went to the Super Bowl, but you're 5-5. I never heard about being happy about being 5-5, but hey, whatever. Yeah. So just want to get in that little rant for the time being, just in case we don't put in the first half of the podcast and we just put in the wrestling and the Eagles. We at least have a couple minutes of some sports talk. But
had to get in our waste of the week real quick, and it was
had to get in our waste of the week. But dude, I love you. Always fun. Just at least catching up and then doing these episodes like always. But for anybody who's listening for the first time, welcome to the One Set Podcast. My name is Anthony Irvin. I'm here with my buddy Jim Green, and we want to let you know that you can hang out with us and you can find us on the handle of One Set Pod on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and right here on YouTube. Make sure you're clicking that notification bell. And Jim, let everybody know where they can hang out with us outside of the episodes.
That is the Facebook group One Set Fam. Again, the number One Set Fam. One. My awesome singing voice. My three voice lessons ever. The One Set Fam Facebook group. That is where we do all of our community interaction with our fan base. Come hang out with us. Come chat with us. If you want to talk about anything and everything, hit us up. If we don't want to talk about it, we will just delete your
whoopsie. delete. And especially make sure you guys are hitting us up on that chat, because we at the when the Rumble comes around, we are getting into our wrestling Road to WrestleMania series. You do not want to miss out. We have a full thing of wrestling coming your way. So if for all our professional wrestling fans, get ready. We're always look forward to this time of year.
It's like our like when people say draft season and NFL season is like their Christmas to them. This is like me and Ant's Christmas to us. It's WrestleMania season, especially as it pertains to this podcast. Like big time. Like if you are a WWE fan, either casual or hardcore, we'd love to hear from you. We'd love to hang out. We'd love to talk all things wrestling. Anth, all the love to you, brother. I'm glad that we got to catch up tonight. To everyone else, all the love to you. Until next time.
This has been One Set.